Do you want one of the kids?
I'll pass.
Hello, everyone. If you're wondering what Victor is saying, he'll pass on. It's one of my children. Just as literally as I click the button to start, he goes, "You're right." Like, really? Anyway, hello. This is the G Arcade Twitch cast. I think it's episode 27, but don't quote me on that. Today we have me and Victor.
Hello there.
That's it. What else? Doom is unavailable. He's very busy at the moment. He may pop in later if he can, around 10 off 10. No, about half 10 if he can. Right now. So, we haven't really looked at any news, but you said there was something that you saw in the news. Do you want to speak about?
I did, yeah. There's the GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference, which I believe is in San Francisco. I'd not actually. It's one of those things I'd not actually heard of this because I really only know about E3 and EGX and things like that. So I'd not really heard of it, and I have come across it because of the news that it's been cancelled because of the coronavirus. So fears of that spreading. But I've been looking up at what it's about, and it seems like a real shame because while it would appear that E3 is dying with less and less people attending and people like Sony choosing to just go off and do their own thing, GDC seems to be quite well attended. It seems to have people like Sony and that actually going, and it seems more focused on the actual people who are making the games rather than just turning up and throwing a lot of money at some whiz-bang trailers and stuff. It's a real shame.
Yeah. From what I know, GDC is quite different. In CGI trailers of a game you're not going to see for like 7 years. Yes, like you said, it's the Game Developer Conference. It's a shame then that we could actually miss out on it this year because of coronavirus. It's I don't know. It's a bit, what obviously the best call is to not have it, but at the same time, we obviously all want it.
Yeah, that's it. And with companies choosing to sort of have their own little events as and when they decide. E3 used to be the time of year that you could bank on going, well, at least we're going to get a massive dump of information on what to look forward to for the coming year or years, possibly a little hint at an upcoming new console or something. So with them dropping out of that, we don't really get anything until it just literally appears on the internet somewhere. So this was something to look forward to, really. I mean, get to, like they say, it was less massive $2 million trailers, and it was more about the actual things, which from what I can gather, chats on how things are made, developers helping each other out. Yeah, it's sad, really, and the amount of time and effort and money that have gone into it from everybody that's attending as well. I mean, every studio that's going, you can bet they've been working on things for this for a long time.
It also makes you wonder what other things are going to get cancelled. Is E3 going to get cancelled? What other conferences are there? Yeah. There's usually like a PlayStation thing at the end of the year. That'd be cancelled.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Pez. I was saying I wonder if this is more of a, because it's such a multi-country industry. Got people from all corners of the world coming for this. That it's hard. It's the only sensible course of action is just to lock it down. Whereas something like a Sony event, they'd have more control over who was coming from where. They could isolate and say, well, Team X, Y, and Z are from this area, so sorry you're not coming. But these ones can come, whereas you can't really do that on something of this scale.
No, yeah, but so like E3 would be affected then because that's big broader appeal.
Yeah, I'd say so as well, and the fact that the general public can go as well, I mean, makes it even more so, because E3 used to be closed doors, didn't it, until about 4 or 5 years ago. Now anyone and everyone can go, can't they? So, I mean, it's got surely that's going to get cancelled, or at least not let members of the public go.
It must be, I don't know, maybe. I would say they could kind of do it without any many people play, apart from like the press, if or something. But it would be a lot of hard work to get it right, I guess, and you still got the risk of contamination with conflict. I guess.
Yeah. It's. I mean, the other way you could do it is to have people basically host stuff via video presentations. I mean, that can be done. It's
Yeah,
not
kind of
ideal,
like
is it?
Nintendo Direct and stuff.
Yeah, you could get around it in that way. People could still have their conferences, just have to find a workaround for it. And I know, for where I work, for example, we've got it's an office and a manufacturing plant as well, an assembly plant, I should say, really. And we get things in from all
I
across
thought you
the
worked
world.
for Deliveroo. Sorry, I couldn't help that.
Oh, even at home, I get it. But we're feeling it at work at the moment. For example, we've got offices in Milan, which are locked down. We have things that are coming from, we get things that are delivered from China. There's a quarantine period on goods that are coming in from China, and that's active now. So this virus can live on the surface for up to 8 days. So anything that comes in from China gets quarantined in an off-site location, like it's properly locked down, and then we don't touch it for a good few days after it's given the okay. So yeah,
I think it was. I had a thing on my phone. I don't know what it was exactly, because I did get like the feed on the homepage, the left of the homepage. Basically, it was saying that like Animal Crossing may be affected physically because of the coronavirus coming from Japan, something like that. And I'm like, is that the case? But I just read the headline. I didn't. There was like. Had I known we were doing the Twitch cast, I probably would have read that article. Whereas I didn't bother.
It's amazing though. It's like, because I only know about that because we have a direct, we directly converse with the people on the shop floor that are manufacturing the things that because I work in the R&D department. We have a direct. We know all the production that's coming up, and we're ordering things and checking on all the parts that are available and stuff. And to know that these things are already in place. It's not just it's everywhere that's going on. So seems almost trivial to say, oh, our game conference is getting cancelled, boo-hoo. But it's almost like it's the easiest way of stopping things spreading is for people not to go.
Like with the coronavirus, that it was like COVID-19, but like I think it was, although this is not game related, video game. Sports game. It was the Ireland-Italy game was cancelled. The rugby one. I think some people were talking on the forum. I think it was like Thomas and Raz. I can't remember. Rax. So there's those two speaking, and one was saying like at the end of the day, it's kind of pointless cancelling it. And then you had one saying, well, it's not because you've got less people together. But then as someone said, all the tickets been booked, all that they're going to still be in Ireland. Around our area, is it going to make much difference if they're in the stadium or outside of the stadium? No.
Yeah, you're going to get people like, if I was going, I probably wouldn't do it. But you get other people go, well, fuck that. I've been looking forward to this for a year. I can't cancel this. I'm not getting my money back, so I'm going.
No, you are right. A lot of people will see it as like, I've spent a lot of money on this. I want my shit, because if they're not getting it back, a lot of people will probably scrimp and scrape for that. Some not.
It's not just. I don't know if you've been to the rugby at the Millennium Stadium or whatever the hell they call it now.
Not for a long time.
We used to go a lot. Before we moved to Wales, we used to come here maybe at least a couple of games a year and make a weekend of it. But we just don't go now because it's horrendous, the pricing of it, and it's never, being that it's Wales, it's never guaranteed to be a good match. So you can often go and spend.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. The thing is like I used to go and I used to love the atmosphere. This is when I was a normal person, enjoyed going out. And like I used to go and watch. I watched Wales versus England, Wales versus Scotland. It's Barbarians, so on and so forth. But then that was a lot when I was much younger, like when I was like 15, 16. So the tickets were bought by my father for me. He was like, "Oh yeah, here's 2 tickets. Ask one of your friends if they want to go." All right.
Yeah, we went to a friendly. Mate, this is probably about 5 years ago now. Went to one of the friendly games, and it was buy one get one free tickets. But we didn't know that. We just bought them. And said, well, they want this because they closed the upper tier because it wasn't selling very well. They just sent us some things through the post. There's some free tickets, so we just gave them to these people we met in a hotel, not like that, the night before. And he thought we were winding them up. But like you say, for like a ticket to a Six Nations game might be £70, just a flat £70 each. You think someone's paying that to go? So they come over from Italy to do that, and they're if they can't really afford that, and well, regardless if they can't afford it, they might just think, you know what, all in, I've already blown £500. I'm going, and I'm just going to go and have a weekend in Ireland or Italy.
If it was a point where they wouldn't allow flights in from Italy, something, people from Italy, I think they may be able to get their money back, which would then make them reconsider going.
It does. If the World Health Organization says there's no travel, then that's when your insurance has to pay out. Otherwise, if they don't say you are not allowed to travel, you can't claim on it. So if we take it back to gaming and say E3, say you and I have decided we're going to go to E3 this year, and we've saved up for a couple of years.
That is not a confirmation that we are going before anyone says anything.
Surprise!
Unless ads pay him.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, just say we said for a couple of years, me, you, and Doom, we're gonna go to E3. We've saved that one. Like we just cannot wait. And then a couple of months before, they've said, look, we advise you not to come here. It's going to be cancelled. The chances are we're going to just go, well, I can't get my money back on the flights or anything. We're going, and we're just going to have a weekend in San Diego.
Isn't Comic-Con around the same time in time?
Roughly, I think, yeah.
They instead. Yes. But no, I do wonder how many other, going back to the whole game conferences and the cancellation of this one because of the coronavirus, how many other things may end up getting cancelled or at least postponed.
A lot, I think. I reckon there's going to be a bit of a period of a couple of months where it's just everything's off or delayed or something.
Do you think the PlayStation 5, I know it's a bit different, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox X Series may get delayed till next year from this, if they've got no way to build a pipe? The traditional way of doing it then.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you like I say, where we are, already manufacturing's been, it's slowed. You've got to build up this quarantine thing. You have your little buffer, but if they're ramping up PS5 and the new Xbox production, they're building up a stock of parts, and that's being affected. It might just be a case of like, do you know what, we've got to push this back by 6 months.
Yeah. Give me more time to save for one then. I think I'll get an Xbox X Series instead of PlayStation 5. Simply because of Game Pass, and with Xbox One's track record of this generation really going all in on backwards compatibility and like increasing the resolution and making them run better and stuff, that kind of also makes me want to go that way over the PlayStation 5, and we'll see what fucking happens.
Yeah, I remember from a couple of Twitch casts ago I mentioned that I was really late to the party with Xbox 360. I mean, I basically got it within the last couple of months of its life, and realised there and then I was just like, I've missed out on this. I should have got one of these a long time ago, and I was all ready to switch to. I thought, I'm going to switch to Xbox One, or whatever. We didn't know it was called Xbox One at the time. And the reveal of that was so horrendous. I just thought, I'm not getting one, and I never did. But this one, having seen the way they've turned it around, and just like say Game Pass, and just the full backwards compatibility, and that huge library of fantastic games, and just the performance things, and
Yeah. No, the other
Yeah.
issue, one issue I have, if I was to upgrade my PC to be better than the X, for example, sometime next gen, and it's like, should I go for the PlayStation 5 instead if most things are going to be cross-platform anyway? But the thing is like Horizon Zero Dawn is meant to be coming to the the PC and several other PS4 exclusives. So if PlayStation 5 games become exclusive to come to PC as well as PS4, then is there any point in buying either an Xbox X Series or PlayStation 5, or should I just stick with my PC, beef it up more, and get a Switch? Well,
it's
play
funny.
my Switch stuff.
It's because I also mentioned this before, I think, that I didn't get an Xbox One at all. I was tempted when the S came out. I was quite tempted. That was around about where Rare Replay came out, because one of my friends had one, and I saw like the backwards compatibility. I thought, well, I've got quite a lot of Xbox 360 games. That'd be really cool to be able to play them all. And then when Microsoft started bringing some of the big hitters to PC as well, I thought, well, and I just built my my gaming PC, which at the time was pretty damn high spec. It wasn't far off being as good as you could get. I was thinking, well, what's the point? Because if I really want to play Forza or some of the other stuff, I can just play them on there. So it did dissuade me from getting one.
Thing is, for Microsoft, it's not so much of an issue because they're still getting their money. They may not be getting the money from the consoles. They get the money from the game sales, Game Pass purchases. So I guess they win in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be tempted to get both. I mean, I think they're going to be very expensive. So I'm not talking about at the same time. I mean, perhaps wait 6 months for a PlayStation. I'd be likely to get I'm going to get the PlayStation first. That's pretty much guaranteed. But if I was to get an Xbox, I'd probably then wait a bit longer afterwards, and then I'd be tempted to get one.
I'm unsure on what I'm doing, to be honest. Like, I got the PlayStation, the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One about roughly the same time. I got them in November or December the year they came out, so it was like just after they came out. The reason why is, I think I've said before on the Twitchcast, is my missus bought me the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
And the Xbox One I had because my father's grandfather or something like that passed away, was left money, and bought me the Xbox One, my sister a PlayStation 4, and my other sister an Xbox One. Bullshit. Well, basically got what we asked for, and obviously PlayStation 4. So I had both. So unless another family member passed away and gives me money, I'm not getting one. And I had enough last year. I had enough death in the family. I don't need any more.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully you won't get any consoles.
Exactly. But I don't know what I'll do. Like, I'm tempted for the Xbox X Series because the backwards compatibility now. But as Arma said in the chat, they love the exclusives for PlayStation, and I'm also a massive fan of exclusives. The issue I have is I think like Mafro on the forum puts it quite well. It's like, oh yeah, PlayStation exclusives, and then you see the pictures of them all, and they're pretty much all open world or open world-ish story-driven games. They're all very of a similar kind of genre, like.
They are, aren't they? Yeah, I know exactly.
It's not very diverse.
diverse. Like Horizon and I can't even remember now off the top of my head. It's been a while, but the thing is, if you're into that sort of thing, it's great for a while. But the second you start getting a bit jaded by them, you're almost done with it. Like I've flitted between consoles so much recently. I'll go for months without touching my PlayStation. Like I'll forget, almost to the point like I'll forget I've got one. I'll just play my Switch all the time, and then suddenly it's like, oh shit, I've got a gaming PC, and then I'll play the PC forever, and then suddenly I'll go like I've gone back to the PlayStation now, and I just put it on and go, I look at my stack of games and go, Christ, I've got some really good games on here.
Yeah.
If all you've got is that one console, and you go, do you know what? I don't want to play another open world game. I just want to play something focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer more linear, not completely linear, but a lot more focused with a little bit of exploration in there compared to big open world games. A lot of open world games I either don't finish or do the bare minimum and get to the fucking end. Spider-Man, which again Armour has mentioned in the chat, is one of the few games I put a lot of time into. Didn't do all the side stuff, but I did the majority of it. I didn't do in the main game. I didn't do all the road blocks or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the guys in the white with the electric sticks that are blocking off the. It's got quite an. I did do everything on that. It's like there's so many of that type of game now. Back when you first had games that were so large like that, you couldn't get enough of them, and you would do everything just because like I just don't want to leave this world. But because there is so many of them now, I find it's got to be something pretty fucking special to hold my attention enough to go, do you know what? I'm near, I'm 80% complete on this. I'm going to finish this off.
Even Breath of the Wild, people love. Most people who don't even like Zelda love that. I love the game, but I still only played it for about 50 odd hours. I think I didn't even break 100 Korok seeds. I did stuff, enjoyed the game, but I can't. I find it hard to just go and just wander around aimlessly. It gets tedious and boring for me.
I've been playing that quite a lot recently. I got it on the Wii U because I didn't have a Switch back when it came out, so I had the Wii U version, which was very good. If you didn't play it, it had a little bit of performance issues, but same game. It was very good. Yeah, but the Wii U one, it was in like sort of 10 frames per second and towns and stuff, whereas the Switch one is like butter by comparison. But I think I did about 100, say it's about 120 hours, and I got maybe 200 or 300 Korok seeds, and I loved the game. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever like a lot of people did, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought that was that. And then when I got my Switch, I thought, you know, I might actually get that again. So I got it again, didn't really play it, but I got into it recently because I never like to go back to an open world, because to me, in my head canon, it's like I've done all this. It's like, you know, this all happened, and seeing it all undone kind of ruins the story in my head. But it's so, the way that game is, with the way it's just completely built around the mechanics. I made a conscious decision. I'm not going here this time. When I start the game, I'm going to go to that corner and come back from there, rather than just doing the usual Zora's Domain and, you know, the sort of the natural order you're supposed to do things in. And it's quite incredible how much I'm enjoying it. I've probably put about another 50 or 60 hours in now, and I can't get enough of it.
Fair enough. Like I said, I really like the game, don't get me wrong, I love the game. But I don't know, there's just...
It does need more. I tell you what, as fun as it is, and it's really cool just approaching things, I'm finding things I just completely missed the first time, and I thought I'd really thoroughly explored everything. I'm finding loads of little bits and bobs and just trying little things. You know, that I wonder if this works. Let's try this, and it does work.
I think for me personally, they need to find a way of melding like traditional Zelda with Breath of the Wild. Get like the best Zelda.
Yeah,
I guess.
It needs more to do, and I'm not talking about busy work, but the Korok seeds. I mean, they're all right. Some of them are quite unique. Like I thought I'd done every type. There must be about 30 different types of them, and some of them I'm still coming across. Oh, I wonder if this is a Korok seed thing, and lo and behold, it pops up when you do it. But I miss the proper dungeon things. I mean, I just like did you play Skyward Sword?
Armour says Breath of the Wild failed when it tried regular Zelda traditions, dungeons, narrative, etc. I think the issue with, I also think it had done well at succeeding at using Ubisoft Towers as well. I don't know why you needed Ubisoft Towers. Of all the things to take from a Ubisoft game is Ubisoft Towers.
Yeah, I don't know why. They're when you get to them, all it does is reveal the map.
Exactly the same as the Ubisoft Tower.
I mean,
in
why
Assassin's
can't you
Creed.
have it? Why can't you have it sort of almost Hollow Knight style, where you're revealing the map as you explore? I don't see what the point of having the map shrouded until you get one of those is.
I don't know. But yeah, I like I said, I really liked Breath of the Wild. I think the issues with the dungeons, as in the Guardians, they were just shit. I think they could have done good dungeons in there. The issue you have is dungeons revolve around a very specific item, and as you start the game with what you have, it's going to be hard to integrate a new mechanic in the dungeon unless you introduce with a new item. If you start with everything, it's going to be hard to then get around that. Narrative again with Breath of the Wild, I think it's going to have issues with, because it was open world, go wherever you want, do wherever you want. They couldn't really have. I think they said themselves they couldn't really work out how to actually have a really good story, because you'll go one way and completely miss something you need to know before you went to another place. Unless they have it set so in certain areas you get a certain cutscene that would be okay to be played anyway, but then it would still not work quite right. So I don't know how they do it personally.
Yeah, I mean it'd be bloody tough, but
Yeah.
I just wish when you go in the shrines, and they're just that sort of generic copy paste look. I just think they look crap. I mean, some of them are actually a bit meatier than I remember. Being in there for a good sort of 10 minutes or something. But would it really have hurt to just have them themed in some way? You know, why can't one just be like an ice cave and one of them just be like a little forest cave or something? Just theme them a little bit and maybe cut down. You don't have to have 130 of them or whatever it is. Why can't you have, say, 50, but have the equivalent of having 4 or 5 of them all melded in one, so you're in there for a long time and give you a proper reward? I think it's shit when you get to the end of one and there's a chest on a pedestal, like it's going to be a really good reward, and it's just a sword that you would get outside of the dungeon. It's just, what the hell kind of rewards that?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I think Newell have been on here a few times and saying like the rewards in the games are just not very good. Like, there's no incentive to do a lot of things. Like, oh look, there's a camp. Let's go take out everyone in and see what happens. Oh, they rupees. They do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I find myself I don't even bother with them now, because it's going to be like a boomerang or something. When I got it on the Wii U, quite near, it was on the way to the first stable that the game pretty much guides you to if you let it, the characters talking to you. So they guide you to the first stable. To the right of it, there was a river with a couple of bridges across it, and there was a big waterfall by it. I just thought, oh, that's classic waterfall thing. Let's see if there's anything hidden behind it. And I climbed up, and behind the waterfall, about halfway up it, or quite near the top actually, was a little cave with a single chest in it. And I opened it, and there was a flame sword in there. And I was like, oh, how cool is that? Because I hadn't come across those in the game yet, and I didn't realise that was just a generic item. And then it's like, it almost seems like it's a hangover in there from possibly the game being a bit different and those items not breaking, or them being a bit rarer or something, because it'd be so much better to find something completely unique. But the DLC added little quests to find armor sets, and that's really cool because it is an actual unique thing. So you've got, I completed the Phantom set, or I completed the Zora set or something. It just needs more. It needs more of a reward for doing something.
Yeah, but the problem you have is what they add there, apart from like a really cool item that maybe lasts long, because the items obviously break, and unless they give you like items that say you can have them repaired or something, instead of them breaking, they'll break, but they'll break in the way you can repair them, and they'll last long before they break, and they're actually really cool. Because you don't find heart pieces, you get them with your Korok. You don't like a lot of the traditional Zelda, go you hunt down these items or the upgrades to yourself. They're non-existent in Breath of the Wild, apart from Korok, I guess. Because it's rare.
Yeah, well, the orbs you get from completing a dungeon, it would have been quite cool. Just say there were, I don't know, 20 of those hidden throughout the world, but there's a quest tied to finding them, so it made you aware they were there. You can just say there's 20 of these hidden, or there's a special kind that give you, I don't know, they're worth 5 or something. It would have just been cool to sort of think, oh god, I wonder if up on the top of that mountain there might be something, there might be one of those caves, and the excitement of finding one, God, I got one of those orbs, rather than just like, well, that peak there, I can guarantee you there's a fucking Korok seed on the top. Do I want to get it? No.
I think one of the things with Breath of the Wild is it's very good at. It's with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is a statement of it's the journey, not the destination. With the majority of things, because
very true. Yeah.
Like every time you get your destination, there's fuck all there that you want. It's getting there, working out how to get there, which is usually just climb up a wall or something like that. It's fun, except for when a goblin turns up and the game drops -9 frames per second. It goes backwards in time.
I mean, you're right on that. I mean, it could be just making busy work for the sake of it. I mean, I've had some great. I like, it's fun in that game to challenge yourself to go, right, there's a castle, it's pissing down with rain, it's on a massive mountain, and it's being surrounded by tough enemies. I'm going to try and get to the top of it. I'm going to try and do it without being spotted. And that's sort of little challenge you set yourself. But if you're not in the mood to set yourself a sort of challenge, it's like, why am I going to bother going up there? Because I know there's never anything up there. Or a fucking royal spear on a wall. I'm not bothered.
Give me a second. The dog have just decided to pull my towel off the arm of the chair that I was going to have a shower with onto the fucking settee because he's a naughty little shit. And he's now lying on it looking at me with a grin on his face.
We when we had Jack when he was a puppy, we had a really nice new rug that we got in the front room, and he just almost immediately decided he was going to use that to lie on, and he was molting like crazy. So we eventually just thought it's getting grimy. It's like a creamy colour. I think it's just getting grimy. Right, we cleaned it, put it up in the loft, and forgot we had it. And the other day I was having a bit of a turf out, and I found it behind a load of boxes. Like, oh, that rug's up there. Let's get it down. So I got it down the other day. I said, right, I'm going to put this rug out. How long do you think it's going to be before he just forgoes his little cushion we've got in the front room? And he just walked up, wagged his tail, and just lay straight on it and huffed.
Yeah, my dog's opinion. Earlier on when I said to you, I'll be back now. Just quickly to the toilet. I went to the toilet, grabbed myself a drink on the way back. I was in, I walked to my chair, the dog turns around, looks at me with this really guilty look at his face, just sitting all curled in a ball, comfy in my chair. I'm like, get out! Clean that, dude! Yeah, you know I'm talking about it. I can see the guilt in your eyes. Now on the floor, on the rug. One thing I wanted to ask you as, two things now actually. We should have enough time. First for starters. Armin is saying it's the Switch's 3rd year anniversary on Tuesday. You said you have a Switch.
I do, yeah. I got probably a couple of years.
So it's what would be your highlights for the Switch? I'm not saying you've had it for the full 3 years, but you've probably had games that were out in the first year. Say, I think was Mario out in the first year? It was, yeah. So
yeah, I've got I've probably got most of the big hitters apart from the Pokemon games. Or actually saying that, I don't like Smash Brothers. I've not played a Pokemon. I wouldn't say I don't like it because I've not played one, but I haven't got one. I've played most of the other ones.
Fair enough. Is there any particular games that really stand out to you? Like, what would you say is the best 3 games you've played on the Switch?
I'd have to say in terms of Nintendo titles, because I have to split them between that and the download ones, I think, really. Boxed ones, I'd say probably the best one I've played is Mario Odyssey. That's the one I had the most fun with. I loved playing that. I'd have to probably put Breath of the Wild with it, even though I've played that before, and it's really a Wii U game, but I'm really enjoying that, so I'd have to put that in with it. And what would I say is third? I've got a lot of games. Probably the Link's Awakening remake. I love that.
Did you play through that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that the Game Boy original is my favorite game of all time. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best game of all time, but it's my personal. I've
Favorite.
got massive nostalgia for it. I had it on my original Game Boy, and then I got it for my Game Boy Color, and then I had it on my 3DS, and now I've got it for this. I absolutely love that game. So it was always going to be a good one.
What are your thoughts on the visual style of the game then on of Link's Awakening? Because I personally fucking adore it. Like I think when I did a review for my monthly review things when I was doing them, and I basically said it reminded me of like little toys, like little Lego sized figures, or like Kinder Egg surprise sized toys, that kind of plasticky toy. And it would be perfect, like as if you'd set up a little fucking game on your floor, like with all the plastic toys. It looks perfect for like a toy, like. You know?
Yeah, when it got revealed, I hated it. Not because I thought it was bad or anything, but because they opened with that animated thing.
Yeah.
And when I realised what that was, when I realised that was what it was going to be, I just thought, oh my god, this is just like I just sort of losing my mind of like this is going to be incredible. And then they showed the little plastic toy thing. I'm like, oh, what's this? No. And then it's because screenshots don't really do it justice. It just because I could see the blocks almost, and I know that's how it was laid out in the Game Boy one, but I could see all the blocks. I just thought, doesn't look that great. But as soon as I started playing it, lovely, just sucked into the atmosphere, and I still have that little feeling of when you're in a cave, feeling like you're in a cave and being really believable.
Yeah, I really like the game. I have some issues with the game. The frame rate could be a bit bad at times.
Yeah, I mean I'd say it's pretty unacceptable for a mainline Zelda game now. So I think it's kind of shader related. I think it's got a little graphical trick here or there that's doing it. Because there's certain things which appear on screen which seem to just lock about 10 frames off the frame rate. So I think with a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of a minor downgrade, it could be made to run a bit better. And I'm surprised they've done it.
It is pretty shocking, actually. I remember when me and Doom were talking about it when it came out. We were saying, "Oh, Nintendo are usually pretty good with this kind of thing. They'll probably have an update within a few weeks." Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, you'd think Nintendo, with it being one of their top tier IPs, would just be like, if it released in that state and it somehow got past their quality thing, they'd just be like, this is unacceptable. This is getting fixed now, and there'd be a patch come out. But yeah, they're saying that.
My other issue? I'm assuming you finished the game and you obviously know the old game.
Yep.
Telltale Heights?
Yes.
The music in the Game Boy version is amazing. I'm not a massive fan of like the westernized version of it in the remake. I just don't think it's anywhere near as good.
No, I did miss the old chip tunes.
Like, I like the music in the game, but just that one particular track I think is by far worse than like the original version.
Yeah, I found when I was playing that, I was almost humming along with what I know it should sound like in my head,
Yeah.
rather than what it was sounding.
Arma says, Xenoblade 2 Octopath. I'm really enjoying Octopath. I've been playing it on the PC though. Smash. I barely touched it. I like Smash, but I haven't enjoyed Smash since Melee. Fire Emblem 3 Houses I haven't even opened. Dragon Quest 11 I've got on both PC and Switch. I will probably play it on Switch because it has extra stuff that's on the PC version. And from what I looked at, I think someone posted on the forum the stuff that's added to it. It is a lot.
I forgot. I can see seeing that list. I completely forgot about Xenoblade 2. I love Chronicles X on the Wii U is amazing. Absolutely love that game. So I'll be getting Xenoblade 2 at some point. And I completely forgot that Octopath existed. But I also didn't know there was a PC version.
It is, yeah.
And
it looks fucking. It looks so sexy.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful in 4K. The only issue with playing in 4K was as I was streaming there as well. is it would make OBS overload because it was using so much of the GPU and CPU.
This thing is the price as well, isn't it? I bet you on Switch, I bet you on PC you could get that considerably cheaper. But
I think the cheapest I've seen is about 25 quid. It surprisingly keeps this price even on PC. Same with I Am Setsuna.
Still got some Switch tax in it. Well, oh yeah, I think I'll pick that up because it's got that old school like a Square. It's not like, is it by Square? It looks like a Square.
I think it's published by Square, but it's made by a different developer. It's like a smaller, like an indie team kind of thing. I think it's the same people who made I Am Setsuna, but the game's then published by Square or something. I'm not sure.
You know what? I might get that now. Just thinking of that, I quite fancy playing something like that. When I'm finished with the Outer Worlds, I think I might pick that up.
It's a very good game. Very, very different. It's made by a team on Square. I thought it was made by a team, not published by Square. I was. The thing I wanted to ask you is this the 1st of March, right? It's the 1st of March. Obviously, there are games released in March. I was just going to ask you, any of these games do you have an interest in? These are games that are coming out in March, by the way, in the UK. There's quite a few, so if some you don't know about or don't care about, just say skip them and skip. A game called Curse of the Dead Gods.
I've never heard of it.
Same here. What about Baron? Fur is gonna fly.
Never heard of it.
What about Ibanov?
Same again.
I recognise the name, but that's the situation. Murder by Numbers.
I'm so ignorant. I've not heard of this either.
This was shown when I saw it at the Nintendo Direct for the indie ones. It's basically like Picross crossed with a detective thing, but it's kind of in the style of Phoenix Wright. It looks really fucking cool.
That sounds pretty good, actually. I like Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. I think the artist is from Phoenix Wright or something. I'm not sure exactly. Next up, you've got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
Is that a full Pokemon? Is that a
nah, it's a mystery dungeon game. I think it's basically like a Diablo style game.
Okay. No interest then.
60 seconds.
Story of my life. No, not heard of that one either.
Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps.
I have heard of that one, but I haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest yet. I've heard very good things about it. So
it's a very good game, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Blind Forest, sorry.
I will pick that up probably on the Switch when at some point I won't be playing the second one until I play that one.
Yeah. The issue I had with it was the ending. I'm not going to spoil it. I just thought it was very abrupt. That's it. Langrisser 1 and 2? Langrisser?
I have not heard of it.
Stella? It's a thing where Marlon Brando, you walk around and you just shout Stella all the time.
So it's Simpsons.
Stella! Neo 2.
I haven't played the first one, wasn't it? I think that was free on PlayStation.
It was free on PlayStation Plus, yeah.
One of my mates used to rave about that. He was saying how good it was, but I never got around.
I'm not really a Dark Souls fan, and while it's not Dark Souls, it's that kind of bullshit game. So
the thing is with those, you've really got to be in the mood for them.
And I never am, so...
Yeah, I get it. Like, I haven't finished Dark Souls 3, not because I was loving it, but it's like going to work. You know, you've got to really be in the right mindset and prepared for it, and I just can't be doing with it.
You've got My Heroes 1 Justice 2. I haven't played 1.
I've not heard of that at all.
It's My Hero Academia, My Heroes Academia or something. My Hero Academia. Boku no Dead or School. Odd choice. I hated school. Looks like an anime style game. It's got like a schoolgirl with a katana on it.
Oh.
It's a PS4 and Switch. Overpass looks like a off-roading Jeep style game. Looks like some kind of buggy on the cover. It's for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Does it look like a budget title? It sounds like it would be.
I am no. Ah. I can only see the cover art. Then you've got MLB The Show 20. Have you been into? I've never really been into baseball games or baseball.
Not at all.
There was one baseball game the other day that I wanted to try. I can't remember what it's called, so I keep forgetting it. But it was like a NES game, and you were all robots and stuff. And like the decision is undecided. Your robot will fight with another robot and stuff. And it's like something off and off. It was really cool, and I played it, and it was awful because I just sucked balls at it.
Was it an actual NES game? Was it like one of those ones that's supposed to be like?
No, it was a NES game. Proper NES game.
There you go. Yeah, not heard of that one.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Jazza was a NES game because I mentioned it before. Oh yeah, that game. I was like, yeah, and I think I've played it since. I've looked at it a few times. I still can't remember his name. Next up, we have Doom 64. I've never played Doom 64. I heard it was kind of ignored back in the day because people just assumed it was Doom, like another port of Doom. But from what I've heard, it's actually quite a lot.
I tried it on an emulator back years. You know, when you first discover emulators exist.
Yeah.
It's the most incredible thing of like, I just give me all the games. I did try it, but because it looks very different. I mean, it's a complete own standalone thing. It's nothing to do with the other Dooms apart from saying it was Doom, which is a bit of a weird way to put it. But because it was so different, I played it for maybe 10 minutes and thought, all right, and then moved on. But then having heard how good it is since, and seen that it can be like £3.50 on the Switch, and I will be picking it up.
I was unsure. I thought at one point they said if you pre-order Doom Eternal, you'll get Doom 64 at the same time.
You do, yeah, you get it as a pre-order bonus, but not seeing how cheap it is on the Switch anyway.
Yeah, well,
It's not like it's like sort of 15, 20 quid or something. It's like £3.50, and that's not even on sale.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's good money. Because Doom 1, 2, and 3 have been put on like all the consoles now, haven't they?
Yeah, they were on sale. I had Doom was one of my favourite. The original Doom was one of my favourite ever games. Played it to death on my 32X. So when it came out on the Switch, I bought the first one, and 2 and 3 are currently on sale as well. So I bought those for a total of about £4, I think it was.
The thing with Doom 3 is like a lot of people don't like it because it's not very Doom. Doom 3, from what I've played of it myself, it isn't very Doom. It's more. It's more like, I don't know, like an Alien game or something. It's a bit horror-y.
Yeah, I played it way back in the day when it first came out on PC. I borrowed it off a friend. I think I probably got like halfway through it because it had a thing where you either had to have your torch out or your gun. You couldn't have both. It was just a bit of a cheap scare thing. But I think they've since patched it. There was a mod straight away to add the torch to all your guns. But I think one of the updates, one of the expansion packs, added that as a real thing anyway.
Yeah, and then there's the Doom BFG edition, which I think is meant to make it more like normal Doom than Doom 3.
Yeah, I think that's included on the Switch one. It's got all the DLC and stuff included on it.
So next up you have Animal Crossing New Horizons. Have you got any interest in Animal Crossing at all?
No, I've never played one though. It's not like I'm going, that shit, I'm never going to play it. It's like Pokemon, I just, for whatever reason, never actually tried.
Animal Crossing to me is like a perfect wind down game. Like, you could play something for a while and you'll get your part racing or whatever. Right? Yeah. You get out, get drunk, and you come home after having a punch up with the angry guy down the road. I don't know, big stuff up. And you come home and you're like, I need to chill out. And you play Animal Crossing, you do a little bit of fishing, sell a couple of fish.
Is that right? It's kind of like Stardew Valley in a little that type of game.
It is a similar kind of game. It's a bit different in that you don't do crops and you don't kill monsters and stuff. A lot more peaceful and concentrate. Like the very first one I played was the GameCube one, and it was basically get yourself a little house you then have to work off your loan, whilst also meeting various different animals. New animals will move in, out, stuff like that. And then you gotta like dig up fossils. You then donate them to the museum, or if it's a double of the fossil, you can then sell it to make money and then make pay off your loan. Then your house upgrades and you get a bigger and bigger house. The GameCube version was great because you could win on the lottery once a week, I think it was, the chance of getting a NES game. So
I heard this, yeah. Didn't they have most of the NES games as like just built-in full games of emulated?
Yeah, it was NES game. It was like Super Mario Brothers, Excite Bike, Punch Out, stuff like that. Some of them were not in the. I think they weren't in the PAL version. Like I got my PAL version from Australia because they weren't out for a good while after that. But it wasn't in the. I don't think it was in the. I think it was in the Western version, but not in the. It was in the Japanese version, but not the Western version. So you had to put in a certain code. That's the only way to get them, and you would get them. So they were in there, but they weren't available to get normally. I think you could have something like 12, I think it was 12 NES games you could have altogether. So.
Pretty cool, and you'd never get that now.
Oh god, no.
Is it a case with Animal Crossing? I've heard it's one of those games that, much like Pokemon, I hear it's like you've played one, you've almost played them all.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that, especially with Pokemon. That does. I think the thing is they follow a very, very kind of strict path of what they do. It's like Pokemon does a very certain storyline kind of thing, and you kind of follow the same kind of story. Sometimes not exactly the same. And Animal Crossing, like it doesn't do anything from my memory, anything new in any game, apart from like add online and stuff like that. For this one, you can like terraform, you can do stuff to your island, like change things up a bit. As in, you can like, oh look, there's a river here. Let's shovel some sand in the way and turn it into normal grass. I can walk over there. Stuff like that. But I think this is going to be a good one. It looks cool. The issue I had, though, I'll be honest, is after the GameCube one, they actually removed a fair few things. Like, they added some things, then removed stuff that was good from the GameCube version, and I think since they've added, like, a lot of the stuff back in, but not all of it.
It's strange, isn't it, when they do things like that?
But yeah, it's definitely worth looking at. Personally, I think it's like if I was streaming, for example, from, say, 9 till 12, I would probably jump on, like, after a game of something. I'm like, right, I'll play something to chill out for a bit, and I'll probably, like, play an hour of that, or sleep. Is this something you can relax? It's like, oh, I'll just do it. I should catch a couple of bugs.
That'd really suit the Switch, wouldn't it, with its little standby mode? It'd be perfect thing to just sort of pick up and sit on the sofa and do something and then
Yeah, definitely. And it's the first console one since the Wii one. Well, I thought it was a hybrid, but it's the first that was on a TV.
I have to go in a minute, but I've just remembered. I was thinking, God, what games are coming up? I can't think of anything. Of course, there's the big one this month, is Half-Life Alyx. Is out in a couple of weeks.
It is, yeah. It's out on the 23rd of March, which is 3 days after Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing.
It's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, I've been playing, I think I mentioned on the private messages, I've been playing the Half-Life series again to refresh my memory. I say the Half-Life series, I've played Half-Life and Half-Life 2 to death, to the point where I don't need to play them again. So I've been playing episode 1 and 2 to catch up on the story.
I don't remember much of episode 2. I remember episode 1. I remember a lot of people being disappointed with episode 1, but loving episode 2 too.
Yeah, it's episode 1. It's really surprising actually. I remember them 1 and 2 being sort of two halves of a whole really, but episode 1, it's really short. I reckon it's about 5 hours long, and it uses all the same assets from the first game. It really does just feel like somebody's just made something out of what was already there. It's not a great. It doesn't do anything new at all. It feels like quite a mediocre expansion, really. If you took the story out of it, you took the advancement of the story out, there's nothing really there. But episode 2, so much effort's gone into that. Playing them back to back, it's like an actual game rather than just a rebadge.
Do you know what? One of my biggest issues with Half-Life 2 is you finally get a gravity gun where you can fucking fling people around and you lose that ability, and I'm like, no, I want it forever.
Yeah,
it's so much fun just lift people and
so overpowered because I think the start of episode 1, I can't remember. I think it gets taken away from you, that ability, straight away, and then you get it again, and then it becomes such a duck hunt almost. It's just flinging people all over the bloody shop, and then they take it away from you again. But yeah, that episode 1's pretty poor, really. I didn't remember it being like that, but it's pretty. I'd struggle to recommend anyone play that. But episode 2, yeah, I'm really enjoying that.
When's episode 3 or Half-Life 3 coming out?
Well, that's what Alex is, isn't it?
I don't know. I heard people saying it's set before the Half-Life games, and then I've heard them say I don't know.
That was me theorising. It's set after episode 2. That's what the developers have come out and said. They said you need to play this, but they've also said it's a prequel. They're saying it's a prequel, but they're saying you need to see what happens. You need to know what happens at the end of episode 2. Which leads me to believe that there's some sort of fun shenanigans going on. And also, but if you remember in episode 2, Alex gets wounded quite badly. It's quite a big plot point, and you've got the Vortigaunt's to try and save her. So a big part of that plot is getting the means to save her. And while they're then resurrecting her, she's pretty much dead. The G-Man appears, and I completely forgotten that happens. And it's quite a big section actually. When he appears and he's back in Black Mesa talking to you, and he's saying we've had our eye on her for a while, and we've selected her on purpose, and we need to make sure she's where we want her to be. It's pretty cool actually, because it made me think, oh shit, maybe this is going to be a bigger deal than I thought. I just thought it was like, oh, we can't do Half-Life 3, we can't possibly live up to it. What could we do? Oh, we'll do an Alex prequel. This just actually now seems like it might be more of a bigger game, as in importance-wise, than I thought.
That's pretty interesting. The thing is I don't remember a lot about Half-Life with G-Man. I don't even know what the fuck G-Man is. One sec. Ugh, sorry about that.
I said, you don't remember the G-Man character at all, or you?
No, I remember G-Man. I just remember I don't remember exactly what he is exactly. Is he some kind of fucking alien?
You don't know. He appears in the first game. You just see this guy.
See him right at the end.
You see him throughout the game. Actually, if you replay it, he's there a lot. In the intro, he goes past you, and you see him in the background quite a few times. I'd say maybe at least 10 times he's in the background of things if you're looking hard enough for a split second. And then he appears at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah, it gives you a choice, I think.
He just turns up and says, yeah, we're taking you out of this situation and putting you in limbo. Then at the start of Half-Life 2, he wakes you up and says, right, I'm putting you back in. You've basically got work to do. So he appears throughout there as well. He's in the little background and doing things. So he's supposed to be very mysterious. You remember at the start of Half-Life, as in the first Half-Life, when you do the experiment that goes wrong, you actually see him talking to some scientists before you do that while you're pushing the sample on the way. So it's hinted at that he wanted that to happen. Behind it all, Palpatine.
What is he up? I remember Does when that explosion happens, the first half, don't you get teleported to different places? Like you stand on one spot, and one of them is, I'm sure, is him speaking to someone. One of the things you see. And you see a couple of other aliens.
Yeah, you get you appear in the room with another participants. You appear on Zen briefly. You appear in a room with somebody going like, "Oh, this wasn't supposed to happen." Or, yeah.
My memory's great. Yeah, I didn't realise that Alex was on.
Yeah, it's good. The thing about I'd forgotten how, because episode 1, like I said, pretty poor. The level design was still good, but it really was just reusing everything that was just an asset reuse. There's nothing really new to it. But the episode 2, the level design's so good. I mean, for a game that's 15 years old now, apart from looking a little bit dated, it's so believable.
I need them.
You got some. They're free at the moment.
I've got them on Steam.
Oh,
I've got them on Steam with. I think I've got Half-Life. Not a part.
Yeah, I had the big Generation box set. I got on PC World for like 10 quid or something. Had Opposing Force and Blue Shift.
I've got Half-Life, Blue Shift, Opposing Force, Source, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2. I think I've got Black Mesa as well.
That was free back in the day.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was free, wasn't it? It was like a...
Finished it then, yeah, but now it's payable.
Yeah, well, I've got that, so I may play through that.
Yeah, I'd give that a go. I mean, like I said, I've played Half-Life 2 so many times. I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to replay that because I know what happens. Whereas on the episodes, I played them once, and it's been really cool going back to them. So episode 2, I'm really glad I've done it because I'm really excited for Alex now. I can't wait to see what they do with it. And it's going to be fucking terrifying. I can't tell you how many times I've jumped playing that game. I've forgotten how spooky they were.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I'd love to play Alex when it comes out, but I would probably need to buy VR headset and stuff.
Yeah.
I say probably, I would have to buy a VR headset and stuff. There's no probably about it.
It's going to be a big outlay. I mean, you think you've got to have a PC powerful enough to run it acceptably, and I bought those Knuckles Index controllers because I wanted the best experience. I mean, I could have got a better headset. I've got a Vive, so it's a pretty shit. Yeah, it's a good headset. But do you want your first experience of playing that to be subpar? Do you want to be running it on a crappy low detail and with shitty controllers? You want it to be really good, don't you? So it's going to cost them.
That's the thing, though. Like, it tracks your fingers and stuff with the certain.
Yeah, the Index ones I bought, the ones they strap. It's like imagine holding a banana. That straps around the back of your hand, so you hold it upright. Also, if you take your fingers completely off it, so you open your hand completely, it stays where it is. So you can effectively drop things or pick them up or throw them. Very clever.
I know my luck, I'd do that. The strap would come undone, I'd smash my fucking TV.
Yeah.
But, I'd love to get it. I'm not going to be able to. Like, I think my PC should be fine. It's got like a i7, 107. Should be fine to run the game.
That's what I got. I got a i660. 600. I can't remember what it's called.
I think mine's i7 6700K.
I got a GTX 1070, so I just got shitload of RAM. That is more than good enough for a good VR experience.
Well,
it's very good. You just got to borrow a headset off someone, basically.
Yeah, I'll have to try and convince my sister to let me have one.
Easier said than done, isn't it?
Fucking hell, yeah. 2 times like, I wouldn't mind getting this. Like, look at me with this look. Like, I want it. I'm just saying, like, it'd be cool to have. I want it. I want it. I'm sure some stuff.
Right, I'm afraid I must leave you now.
All right, dude. I will catch you later, and with that, I'm probably going to end the. Well, then.
Okay, well, it's been nice chatting, and I hope to do this again soon.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to do the podcast. I really enjoy doing it. The reason why we haven't done many is because where Doom have been out, I haven't really bothered asking people because I just haven't. I've been forgetting. Like, well, I'll ask people about this week, and then I forget. Which is why I asked today to do it, or yesterday, whatever it was, do it next Sunday. So there's an advance. So I was like, oh, I can only do it. So yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this then. I know it's a bit shorter than usual by about 2 hours, but we'll be back hopefully next week. If not, then I will let people know on grk.co.uk when the next one will be in the Twitchcast thread. So thank you for taking part, Victor.
Thank you. I've been most enjoyable. Right, I shall see you soon.
Bye-bye, dude. And for everyone else who's there, thanks for tuning in. I think Matt is currently playing a game, so I'll host him up. And yeah, goodbye.